And hi, my name is Nurain Najihah binti Razif, and today I'm going to reflect on my experience in the introduction to sociology class. So before taking this class, I was someone who thought that sociology was simply about examining society in general, based on obvious components like age, gender, social class, race or religion. I assumed it was about making general observation of how people behave or how different groups are formed in society. At the time, I felt like it was a subject that involved and requires common sense or general knowledge about maybe a particular group or religion, and anyone could guess just by observing the world around them. However, my perspective changed based on like one occurrence in one of our class, where Dr. Karudin gave example about social phenomena that Malays are poor because they are lazy. So before, I used to think that the lazy part is because they refuse to seek proper education, but later in the sociology class, I realized that they refuse to seek proper education because of the socialization process. The socialization enables them to continuously behave on such way, and as a social being, we are inclined to follow the majority to fit in. So that's how I come to realization that to analyze a social phenomenon, it is not as shallow or surface level. I realized that sociology is actually a deeply analytical and it is theory-driven field, where it's not just about looking people and like spotting differences on how they act. It's about asking why and how they act in such way. And it's also not simply that you have to understand the structure and the systems that set and cause them to behave like that, and how this affect individuals and society as a whole. So in order to do that, we need to examine this phenomenon using sociological frameworks and concepts that have been developed by various sociologists. So in this class, I learned about these frameworks, the three main frameworks that you have to not only understand but knows how to apply it when in your analysis. So the first is functionalism, second is conflict theory, and the third is symbolic interactionism. So these perspectives are not merely theories for us to memorize, but it is tools to guide us in our analysis. So only by using these frameworks, you are able to analyze and interpret everything that occurs in society accurately. And I realized that without using any of these frameworks, our analysis will become shallow, biased, and very general. So it is not really sociology. Taking an example from one of our class, and this example actually really stuck with me when Dr. Karudin shared an anecdotes where the elites often send their children to elite schools, not only for education, but it is a long-term plan for their children. This is to ensure they stay within the rich bubble and build exclusive social networks to help in their future careers. So after thinking about it, I realized how true this is. In my own surroundings and based on my observation, I see how the upper class often mingles only with each other, and they share similar characteristics with each other, not only in terms of their possessions, material possession, but also their mannerism, dressing style, and the hobbies that they involve with. So I used to find this intriguing, And now I understand it is a systematically structured lifestyle, and it is influenced by their culture and class. And this makes me realize how the elites manipulates the system to maintain their position. After learning about these three frameworks, I realized that my previous approach in analyzing social phenomena is actually very surface level and totally based on assumptions, which doesn't work for sociology. So I used to look at one event or one issue in very general way, and I often think, oh, this happens because people are like that, or that's just how society works, when in actuality there are like many underlying effects, underlying causes that we need to explore. And so sociology requires us to dig deeper to understand the structures, the power dynamics, the cultural influences that could have an effect to why this specific phenomenon occurs. Yes, I am still struggling in applying these frameworks accurately when doing my analysis, because it is not easy. Sometimes I mix up and I have doubt about which theory that fits the best with the social phenomenon, or sometimes my analysis are insufficient because it is too general. My next step is to read more, especially about each of the three main perspectives, so that I fully understand their strengths and limitations, and I know that for which types of social phenomena is suitable for the frameworks. So this way I can apply them correctly and avoid making biased, shallow or inaccurate analysis. So that's all from me. Thank you for listening.